All right, guys, welcome to Chibino Podcast. This is me, David the Smash Fan,
It's Monster Tech Guy.
and today we want to talk about something that was just released a few hours ago, and this has to do with Fast and Furious 9. And actually, Miles, I'm gonna have you talk about it because it's a franchise that you followed and you know more about, and I feel you're more passionate about it than I am. So yeah, I want you to take it away because you know more about it than I do.
Yeah, sure. Paul Walker, and I know that's why you kind of hit me up about this today, because you know Paul Walker means he's very special to my heart as an actor, right? And he's Fast and Furious is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's in my top 3. And as much as the movies are kind of cheesy and over the top, that's actually what I like about them. And anyway, when Paul Walker died, it was one of the only times I ever actually got very emotional, and I remember that impacted me. Actually, I wasn't with you guys when I got the announcement, was it?
No, you weren't with us.
Okay, yeah, I was with a couple of friends, I don't remember exactly, but anyway, when he died, I remember just, I couldn't eat, I didn't even finish my meal, I felt sick, and it's an actor I've never even met, And Paul Walker just meant a lot to me. The guy's a stand-up dude, he had his own charity, and I know he's helping with the hurricane relief efforts, and he put a lot of his own money that he got just to help out with a lot of that. He did a lot of traveling. He gave a lot of his money away to charities. He's just a really, really good dude. But anyway, that franchise means so much to me. When he died, it's one of the only actors that died that actually I felt sick for quite a while. I was pretty devastated for a few weeks. It actually still hits me to this day. The only other one I can recall hitting me that big of an impact was Carrie Fisher. So anyways, when number 7 came out for Fast and the Furious, I was wondering how, and I'm sure you too, Dave, you're wondering, how are they going to incorporate him into the, the movie and the ending and do this touching, send away that said it was beautiful, and at that time they released that song, I don't remember who sings it, but the song they wrote for Paul Walker.
The See You Again song?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful song, dude. And that song was already out, and I think they did good because people knew the connection from it before the movie came out, right? And I remember at the very end when they showed that scene of Paul Walker smiling at Vin Diesel, and they both just split in that Y, on the track, and he just goes the other way on the highway, and they did the digital CGI of him with that music going on, and everything just goes white, right? And then it just comes with black text for Paul and ends. I remember I actually cried. I was with my mom, she was bawling, I was wiping my tears, and that actually impacted me. And at that, me and her looked at each other and were like, you know what, they need to be done with these movies. And to this day, I still agree. And the CGI, I want to ask you before we get into our thoughts on this, how did you think that he looked, and how did you take the ending when you saw that?
I thought they did very well with incorporating his face with his brothers, because the brothers, so there wasn't so much that they had to change, just probably features here and there, and that's probably why it looked so great. So I really like the CGI that they put into that. It was just I think it was just easy to do because they were brothers and they didn't have to do too much. But I felt that was a proper send off in the movie. And what was interesting, and this is what I talked about what they're saying about this movie, but I liked in 8 where, whether you liked it or not, they reference Brian because of what's happening with I forget Vin Diesel's character name, but they reference that he's gone rogue and they're contemplating on asking Brian to come help because he's the one that could help him out, and they're like, no, we promised him we wouldn't get him involved, and so I thought that was cool that they're still mentioning him.
They're keeping him alive in the franchise, right? Him and Mia, they're just kind of leave them out of it. They got kids now. I actually agree with you. I completely like that. No, I didn't really like 8 that much, but it wasn't a bad movie. It's just I kind of go to see Fast and Furious because I want Paul Walker and Vin Diesel, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're like that buddy cop kind of feel when you go see Bad Boys to me. So, but I get what they're doing, right? They want to continue the franchise. It is a family, this cast, right? But I don't know. Anything else now is just such a cash grab at this point. For them to use Paul Walker, I feel it's disrespectful, but the reason why is, how do I say this? I don't feel they're doing this necessarily for the fans. I think they're more doing this to bring in people and to make money, if that makes any sense. I don't feel it's a righteous way to do this.
It could be. It really all depends on how they're gonna do it as well, because this information is barely broke, but we have no information aside from that, like what he's going to do, how big of a role he's going to play, if it's just a flashback scene that they're doing it for, if there's going to be a speaking role in it. Like, there's no information that they give to us. So I think they could do it in a nice way, as if it was a flashback, maybe to do like a different perspective on a scene that's happened in the franchise before, and maybe that's why they need him. I could understand that.
But are you still okay with it though?
It's hard, and if there was an actual purpose, like an actual like good purpose for that, to have it done that way, I would be okay with it. But again, like
so it depends on the execution in a way.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of like the storytelling in these movies, me personally. and so the issue is like, how are they gonna do it in a tasteful way that's not corny, that's not, oh, that was obvious that they did this because people want to see him back, but they're not really like letting the character just not be in the movie anymore. Maybe they, like I said, referencing is different than showing him again, and I think that's just kind of sucks. For the most, like I think 99 times out of 100, if they're gonna try and do something like this, it's gonna be bad, and I don't know how they're gonna do it that where it's gonna be satisfying for hardcore fans, but also being respectful.
I agree.
That's where I'm at right now.
For example, right? This is how I kind of look at it. Let's I'm gonna go to Star Wars for this, okay? Because it does relate to this. When they did Rogue One and they did Leia's character, was it a necessary scene to CGI it? No. That was just a nice little touch to the fans and some fan service, right? Although compared to Tarkin, I thought Leia looked way cheesier, especially with the actress that had to digitalize over her. But regardless, it was a nice touch. I thought it was a beautiful little touch. But was it necessarily? No. So what I'm worried about is, are they going to do that with Paul? And another thing with Leia, right, is Rise of Skywalker coming out. The difference between Rogue One and Rise of Skywalker is Leia needs to be in the film. There's a story purpose, as you know, and it's plot driven for it. So there's a huge reason why they have to have Carrie in there, even though she's, passed away, unfortunately. That makes sense, right? With 7, it made sense, right? Paul needed to finish the scenes to get the 7 out, and how they did it was beautiful. With 9 for Star Wars, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm sure they're going to do a beautiful send-off as well, and that made sense. So what I'm getting at is, if they do it in a way that like Rise of Skywalker needs to do it, or 7 did it, that's fine. But if they're going to do it in a way like Rogue One did it, which is fan service, I have a problem with it.
Yeah, so
if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. So we'll just have to wait, because again, we don't have any more information aside from. I think they said that he's coming back. I think they also confirmed that his brother is doing the part, but I can't remember if that's what they said or not. Did you read that?
Yeah, we don't really know. I remember. I don't remember if it was Caleb or Cody. It was one of the older walkers. I don't remember which one's the oldest, but I remember the youngest one was actually wanting to get into film, and I think that's Cody. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, it'll probably be the younger brother more, but they'll probably have to come back to Caleb as well to kind of get both, because some of their jaw structures and the foreheads they're a little slightly different, but if they can merge both, it kind of helps digitalize Paul in there easier. So I'm sure they'll probably have both of them come back. I'm just not sure if they'll do it or not.
I actually just read it. It says that they're seeking a body double for the actor. So I don't know if that just means like for. See, when they say that, your mind goes to different places. When they say body a double, does it mean like, are they going to do action scenes?
That's what I was thinking, because if it's just him walking, he has a charismatic like walk that he has that's so Paul, and I think his brothers embody that. Like, when you watch their brothers, they look like Paul, they act like Paul, they talk like Paul. It's kind of freaky. So yeah, good point, good catch on that. If it's a body double, it sounds more like they might include some action scenes.
So, I mean, yeah,
good point.
That could be that. So I don't know how you feel about that now.
Yeah, I think it needs to be subtle. Like, I was thinking more in the hopes of, like, maybe a phone call. But again, you said a flashback. What if it's, like, some kind of, like, See, I know Paul did a lot of his own stunts, especially when him and Mia, hurt themselves when him as Brian's character jumped on, I think, was it number 5? Where they jumped into the building, and then one of them hurt their legs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't know if it's in Brazil. But anyway, yeah, like what if it's like some scene of when he was a cop and like it does a flashback and there's some enemy back then that they're like needing to cop out, and maybe they show a flashback then, and then maybe they call him to get advice and he tells them like how to catch that bad guy they were trying to catch back in the day. Maybe there's some kind of like that and they want to do that to incorporate Paul in there again.
That could be. Yeah, that's a possibility.
So when does this movie come out anyway? Fast Nights, like a 2020 or 2021 probably?
I would say 2020.
Okay, interesting.
I think.
Yeah, because I didn't like. I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. The what was that one? The Hobbs and Shaw. Did you watch that one?
I did.
Yeah, it was fun. It was probably more ridiculous than all the other Fast and the Furious I've ever seen.
Because apparently The Rock is Captain America.
Yeah. But other than that, Captain America, that actually worked. Actually, you know what was cool about that movie? It actually made me feel like a Bourne movie.
I could see that.
But anyway, yeah, I just don't know. I just don't want them to drag this down into the ground and also drag Paul's legacy to the ground with it. I think still 7 should have ended it.
Yeah, but I guess we'll just wait and see until an actual trailer drops and see if they'll reveal the Paul there. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Good point. Anyways, let us know what you guys think, because this is kind of a controversial thing on this subject, and I understand that. You know, I even hit up my mom right away when you sent me that article, and she was not happy. So I just want to hear people's opinions, and I totally get why people be pissed. I also get why people be excited. I can see the difference on this one, so kind of interesting what you guys think. I totally understand both ways. So
yeah, let us know in the comments below, or shoot us up on Facebook or whatever. So yeah, I think that's it for today. This is David the Smash Fan.
Smash your tech guy.
And this is Chibino Podcast.